Hi, this is James Busby from 1024 and this is my second tutorial. This is going to be a free one and we're going to be looking at preparing and using photographic reference to create realistic human characters. So you can see what I've got here is three separate images, a front, back and a side. And the first thing we're going to want to do with these images is align them so that they're all the eyes and the ears and the mouth and the chin are all in the correct position, so that when we actually start modeling everything's going to be lined up properly. So what we're going to do is basically clone the layer here and just use a guide down the center to actually try and position the character's face as central as possible. Just using the free transform tool now just to rotate the image around a little bit, just to try and align it so that the center line runs right down the middle of the nose, down through the middle of the lips, and also down through the middle of the mouth and chin. So you can see there it's fairly central, so we'll just finalize that. And now what we're going to do is actually make this face symmetrical. So we'll just use the lasso tool there just to select that side of the face, copy and then paste. And now we've got a separate layer with just that side, so we'll do a transform and flip it horizontally and just drag it across to the other side. So you can see symmetrical. It looks a bit strange, but for the purposes of this tutorial we're going to be using a symmetrical face because it's much easier to model. And we can go in later on and turn this layer off and actually change the mesh so it's asymmetrical. So what I'm doing here is just dropping down the opacity just so I can see how off the features actually are compared to the original face. So I want him to sort of look more human than he does at the moment, so I'll just line his eye up with his actual eye on the asymmetrical version like that. So just adjust that a little bit until it's right. Just try and line the iris up there on the inside of the eye. And that'll do nicely, I think. So just stick the opacity back up and just get rid of that guide because we don't need it anymore. And you can see there now, because obviously this isn't perfectly symmetrical, we've got a line down the center of the face, so we're just going to use the eraser tool just to erase away that sort of center section and reveal the original texture beneath. Just going down there the center of the nose. I mean, as long as the actual outline of a lot of the features isn't destroyed, for example the edges of the nose and the mouth here, we're still going to have symmetry. Particularly with the outline and the profile of the face. And also by erasing some of this sort of center section, we're actually getting back some of the asymmetry and the texture that we would have lost had we just used the perfectly symmetrical version. Right, so just see the difference there. I mean, there's not a vast difference, but this is going to help us a lot when we're actually modeling. Something which I'm not going to go hugely in depth in this tutorial. This is more just looking at how to set up the reference images and get a good sort of base for modeling. So I'm just going to increase the size of this canvas here by 300% because we've got three images, and I'll just go to the side reference photograph now, and I'll just select all of that, copy and paste it, and just paste that into the previous image. And the reason we're doing these all together is because we want to align them. So we'll just use some guides here. Just drag a guide down there from the ruler bar. We've got the inside of the eye there, the side of the mouth, and the chin. So there you go. We've got three sort of lines which we can now use to align this image to the front. So I'll start off just by setting it up so that the inside of the eye is in the same position as the inside of the eye on the front image, and then we'll just do a free transform, and we'll move the pivot point to that point on the eye. So every time I scale or rotate, it's going to scale or rotate around that point. So I'll just scale it up a bit here. I mean, these images are huge, so the actual scaling them doesn't actually make that much difference really. Probably I shouldn't be doing this, but it makes it a bit easier. I could scale the bigger one down, but so I'll just drag in another reference line there, just at the bottom of the nose, just because I think his head might be slightly tilted forward in that front image, whereas here I think he's holding it back a bit more. So to fix that problem, all I'll do is just rotate the image a little bit, just using the free transform, so that you can see things start to sort of come in line. You can see here that the actual ears aren't actually aligned properly. I mean, there's a lot more of the ear above the line on the front image than there is on the right image. But that can be down to a lot of things. It's probably something to do with the lens on the camera, however they were shot. But we can't get these exactly right really, but we can get them very, very close, and that's what we should aim for. You can see here we've got the eyes aligned, we've got the bottom of the nose pretty much there, and the lips. So we're just going to look at the back here. Again, same as the front image, we're going to want to make this symmetrical, just because it's going to be easier to model, and also we'll get a nicer sort of mesh out of it. Right, so again, just copying and pasting that layer, select half of it using the lasso tool, copy and paste that in, same as we did before, and then simply just do a horizontal flip with that. Okay, let's drag that across now, and I've just knocked the opacity down to have a look, and you can see it's pretty close anyway. I mean, it's quite a good match there. So we're going to do exactly the same things we did before, just delete that sort of central part of the texture using the eraser brush, because you can see there, you can actually see the symmetry in the reflections on the back of his head there. So just erasing those away. Okay, and again, we're picking up more of the original texture, which is good. Okay, so just copy and paste that now, and we'll put that into our main image. Copy merged actually there, and then just paste that in. There we have it. Now this canvas actually isn't really big enough for all three of these, so I think I'm probably going to have to make it a bit bigger. I'll just see if I've got room. Not really, I think I'll just increase the size of that a little bit. Okay, I'll just draw a line down just the top of the head there, just to make sure that's all aligned. You can see here the back image isn't far off. I mean, again, the ears are a bit aren't 100% right, so I'll just scale it a little bit, I think, just try and get the ears in the right place. I mean, with the back image it's quite hard to actually align it, because all you've really got are the ears. There's no actual features that you can see, so just have to get it as close as we can. And that's fairly close. It's probably good enough for what we're going to use it for. And again, there's all sorts of tricks you can do when you're modelling, you know. I mean, it doesn't matter that the references for the certain parts of the face don't match exactly. You can always pull the mesh around so that they do later on. So I'll just increase the size of the canvas there. And then I'll just space these out a little bit, because, as I said before, we're struggling for space on this canvas at the moment. Oops. There we go. Okay. So just get rid of those guidelines, clear guides there. You can see we've got three aligned images now on one canvas, so what we're going to have to do here is split these up into front, side and back images, which is fairly straightforward. What we're going to do is just lasso that image there, and then we'll just do an image crop, and we'll just save that. Just save it as a face front. Okay, and we're basically going to go through now and just do that to all three of the images. We'll just do a step back so we get back to our original canvas. Okay, so I'm just going to speed this up a little bit here, because I'm basically just doing exactly the same thing that I did before. Just crop, save out, head side, just step back again, and just do exactly the same with the back image. Again, you can see here I'm just dragging the actual selection that I used before, just because it's nice to have these images all the same size. Doesn't actually matter if they're not, but it helps a little bit in Lightwave just to sort things out. And we'll just save that the full canvas as well, just if we ever need to go back and change anything or realign anything. Okay, so that's the end of chapter 1. If you want to see how to apply these images as backgrounds in Lightwave and then match a base mesh to those, you can continue to watch chapter 2.